If you believe you can change the world, do what you believe is right, and expect resistance, and expect attackers. What problem do you face every day that nobody has solved yet? Or what is a great company no one has started? I will. Never let a good crisis go to waste. It's the universe challenging you to learn something new and rise to the next level of your potential. Being efficient without regard to effectiveness is the default mode of the universe. Doing something unimportant well does not make it important. The world is changed by your example, not by your opinion. Often, all that stands between you and what you want is a better set of questions. Give vulnerability a shot. Give discomfort its due, because I think he or she who is willing to be the most uncomfortable is not only the bravest, but rises the fastest. Poisonous people do not deserve your time. To think otherwise is masochistic. To fix someone's problem, you very often just need to empathically listen to them. A person's success in life can usually be measured by the number of uncomfortable conversations he or she is willing to have. Everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. The heroes are no different. Everyone struggles. Take solace in that. I also have been indulging in the practice of praying to future versions of myself. If you are insecure, guess what? The rest of the world is too. Do not overestimate the competition and underestimate yourself. You are better than you think. You just need to feel like you've pushed a millimeter ahead in some creative direction. If you suddenly had 100,000, million, or 10 million more followers, what might happen? Having an unusually large goal is an adrenaline infusion that provides the endurance to overcome the inevitable trials and tribulations that go along with any goal. Suffice to say, this old man wants to limber up and get back on the playing field. Take some time to reflect on all versions of yourself. Do you have a plan for becoming unfamous if you don't like it? If the potential payoff is mediocre or average, so is your effort. There are rare times when I feel like I'm in the zone. Those are great. Just invite a few friends to dinner, look at the graphic, and follow the instructions. It's fun. At the same time, I knew that most students would go out and promptly do the opposite of what I preached. Most of them would be putting in 80-hour weeks as high-paid coffee fetchers, unless I showed that the principles from class could actually be applied. You are the average of the 5 people you associate with most, so do not underestimate the effects of your pessimistic, unambitious, or disorganized friends. If someone isn't making you stronger, they're making you weaker. By working only when you are most effective, life is both more productive and more enjoyable. It's the perfect example of having your cake and eating it too. Excitement is the more practical synonym for happiness, and it is precisely what you should strive to chase. It is the cure-all. We would always think, okay, if we do X today, what does that result in tomorrow, a year from now, 10 years from now? If you want to have more, do more, and be more, it all begins with the voice that no one else hears. When 99% of people doubt you, you're either gravely wrong or about to make history. More than 80% of the interviewees have some form of daily mindfulness or meditation practice. Creativity is an infinite resource. The more you spend, the more you have. Happiness is a choice you make and a skill you develop. I'm building a snowball the size of continents. The catch, it sometimes moves at a glacial pace. Big things take time, but that's okay. Almost nothing can stop a glacier from moving once it reaches critical mass. To do the impossible, you need to ignore the popular. Someday is a disease that will take your dreams to grave with you. Life punishes the vague wish and rewards the specific ask. The most important trick to be happy is to realize that happiness is a choice that you make and a skill that you develop. You choose to be happy and then you work at it. It's just like building muscles. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. The superheroes you have in your mind, idols, icons, titans, billionaires, etc., are nearly all walking flaws who've maximized one or two strengths. I've seen the promised land, and there is good news. You can have it all. If you let your learning lead to knowledge, you become a fool. If you let your learning lead to action, you become wealthy. Our goal isn't to create a business that is as large as possible, but rather a business that bothers us as little as possible. The goal is not to simply eliminate the bad, which does nothing more than leave you with a vacuum, but to pursue and experience the best in the world. If you cannot find meaning in your life, it is your responsibility as a human being to create it. What would you do if there were no way you could fail? If you were 10 times smarter than the rest of the world? There is no sure path to success, but the surest path to failure is trying to please everyone. The question you should be asking isn't what do I want or what are my goals, but what would excite me. Information is useless if not applied to something important, or if you will forget it before you have a chance to apply it. The opposite of love is indifference, and the opposite of happiness is boredom. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do. 9 times out of 10, a meeting is unnecessary, and you can answer the questions once defined via email.